bits afterwards, and Lily didn't want her having to walk home on her own. It was lucky that Bill's departure was on their half-day from Marlows. The two of them had been friends since Lily's very first day at the town's big store. They'd seen each other through several ups and downs, and Lily wasn't about to fail Gladys in this one. The crowd gradually thinned, and with the press of people dispersed, Lily could see the stained slabs littered with cigarette ends under her feet. The WVS tea bar, in which her mother Dora often served, was doing a brisk trade as people stocked up on something for the journey. The train already looked crammed. "Bill," said Lily tentatively, "hadn't you better—" Jim took the initiative, shaking him by the hand. "Good luck," he said. "And don't worry about Gladys. We'll take good care of her." "Thanks, mate." The way Bill was gripping Jim's hand spoke for the emotion he couldn't express any other way. He leant and kissed Lily's cheek. "You take care of yourself too, Lily. No getting into trouble. I know what you're like." "I'll be good. Promise." "Right then, we'll leave you to it." Jim put his hand under Lily's elbow, and they moved a few feet off, through other couples spinning out the time till the last possible moment. Husbands and wives, boyfriends and girlfriends, sisters and brothers, friends, parents, daughters and sons. A lot of eyes were being dabbed, a lot of last-minute instructions issued about not forgetting to write, and there was a lot of desperate clinging. At the newsstand, Jim looked at the small selection of paperbacks on offer, but Lily watched as Bill took Gladys in his arms. He could just about get them round her, and rocked her gently in a hug. Gladys had hidden her face in his naval greatcoat, and Bill was cradling her head and saying something. "You know I love you," if Lily's amateur lip reading was anything to go by. Gladys was nodding her head against his shoulder, but Lily could see her whole body shaking. Her friend's parents had been killed in the Coventry Blitz. She only had her gran, and Bill, who'd been brought up in an orphanage, had no one till he'd met Gladys. They were everything to each other. Lily looked away, blinking back a tear of her own. When she looked back, Gladys's face was visible again, and Bill was tucking a strand of her light brown hair behind her ear. As he gently untangled himself, Lily touched Jim's arm, and they moved forward again. The guard was coming down the train, closing the doors. Bill grabbed his kit bag, gave Gladys a final kiss, and with a thumbs up to Jim and Lily, squeezed aboard. He'd barely closed the door before the signal changed and the train, with a painful jolt and deafening clanks, chugged slowly out. Bill leant out of the window. "Be good," he called, jovial to the last, or pretending to be. Others ran down the platform, clutching outstretched hands through lowered windows. That was beyond Gladys, but she waved her hanky, tears rolling down her face. At least she could let herself cry, thought Lily. Bill obviously felt just as torn, but couldn't show it. She stood on one side of her friend, Jim on the other, waving frantically like everyone else left behind. And as the train curved away down the track, every single turn of the wheels chanted their desperate silent prayer. "Stay safe. Stay well. Stay alive." Having walked Gladys back home, it was almost dark by the time Lily and Jim felt they could leave her. She lived with her gran, so she wasn't totally on her own, but Florrie Jessup wasn't exactly the twinkly grandma of storybooks. She'd been too long a widow and had had things her own way for too many years before Gladys had come to live with her. As they left, Mrs. Jessup was eyeing up the quarter of peppermint creams that Bill had left for Gladys. They helped her with pregnancy indigestion. There was no doubt who'd be scoffing the lion's share of those. For once, Lily and Jim didn't have much to say to each other as they walked home themselves. Or rather, they did, but neither wanted to broach it. Lily knew Jim would have been affected by the sight of all those servicemen and women. He constantly cursed his poor eyesight for keeping him out of the army. He made up for it as an air raid warden and with fire-watching duties, but Lily knew he never felt he was doing enough, and she'd started to feel that way herself. She looked sidelong at the Wrens and the Waffs and the ATS girls as they boarded the train.